Hello, this is Lisa Hazard with We're All Psychic, and tonight we have a special episode. It's a Halloween episode, and we have Misty and Bunny and somebody very mysterious who you've heard about before, Megan. And we're going to tell you ghost stories from a psychic point of view. We're all terrified too. So, Bunny, Misty, Megan, say hello in any order.
Hello.
Hello.
So, as working as a psychic or being, around that kind of energy and exploring it, sometimes some scary things happen. All of us have been there, and you don't have to necessarily be exploring this stuff to have it happen. So, who would like to start with a good, scary Halloween story?
Bunny, would you like to start?
We both did it. Bunny.
No.
Okay, guys. Throw me right into the limelight.
She's the
Thanks.
She's the one.
So I guess what I'll bring up is the one I talked to you about earlier, Lisa. Is we're having some paranormal activity in my house.
That's right.
Mm-hmm. Not everybody knows this, but my husband and I, we live in my father-in-law's house, and my sister-in-law lives here, and then every other weekend her two sons do. So it's a lot of people, a lot of different energies, but it's kind of like ongoing through the years. Lisa and Megan know a lot about it. There's always, I call it the heebie-jeebies, because I'm not so attuned to like my medium side. So when I get the creeps, as I call them, it's like the hair stands on the back of my neck. It's like, that's how I know that there's something around. And, I'll take pictures at night and send it to the Psychic Cat chat and things like that and see, what do you guys see? Because I can't see. I don't have that gift, or maybe I'm just not attuned to it, but
no, you do. So, if you're feeling it, you do have the gift. Yeah, you know it's there.
I mean, I know it's there. I can't see it, and I think maybe
but you
the
can
visualizing.
Feel it, though.
Yeah, and the intentions as well. If I'm in the kitchen making a sandwich or something, you know how if somebody walks up behind you and they're like, "What are you doing?" and they're looking over your shoulder. I feel it and I think it, like it's my own thoughts.
It's definitely there. Yeah.
Well, so my sister-in-law, she and I don't know if I can put a picture in here. Let's see, chat. Let's see if I can drop this picture in there for you guys. Well, maybe I can't. Well, Lisa and Megan have seen it. But I'll send it to you, Misty. So
yes, I want to see.
In my hallway, there's 3 doors on the left, one on the right, and one straight ahead at the end. And the first door on the left is my sister-in-law's bedroom. The next door on the left is a closet, and then the last door on the left is my bedroom. Then on the right is the bathroom, and at the end is my father-in-law's bedroom. So I guess last week sometime, my sister-in-law said that there was a loud bang. Like, can you hear that?
Oh, yeah, I can hear that.
So I asked her specifically, did it feel like knuckles or a bang? And she said it felt like a bang, and it woke her out of a dead sleep. She sleeps pretty hard.
Mm-hmm.
And she said that it happens in like 15-minute intervals. So
what
in my
time
mind,
does that happen?
This morning, she said it happened about 2:00.
Every night is it around that time, or is it like?
She can't remember about what time it was last time, but last night, early this morning, is when it was the worst she's experienced. And there's a lot of other experiences in the house, but last night specifically, it woke her out of a dead sleep. And she thought it was the wall between my bedroom and hers. But the thing is, we have that closet.
Right.
Plus my closet and her closet. So it's all like there's there's no way it came from my bedroom because it would have woke me up. I went to bed at midnight.
Right.
So she said she heard it. It woke her up. She started to fall back asleep. And then 15 minutes later, another one. Well, the third time it happened, it woke my nephew up because he sleeps in there. He's in first grade. He has a Wii console. So, when the console is turned on, the controller glows in the
Okay.
dark.
Yeah.
But she specifically remembers turning the console off. So the controller was off. But the time it woke my nephew up, his controller was glowing, but the console was off. She hears the knocks, and it's about 2 a.m. She said just about 2 a.m. So I woke up at 4 this morning. I took a shower. I left my shampoo and stuff in the bottom part of the tub, standing up. And she said that when she was already awake, because the bangs on the door or the wall, she says she can't tell if it's the door or the wall, but the door is right next to her head, and her head is right next to a wall. So we're not really sure. I'm surprised I didn't hear it because my room's right next door and I'm a really light sleeper. But she said when I came out of the bathroom and went into my living room, which is off of the house, she said it sounded like one of the shampoo bottles got knocked off the top and made a loud clang in the bottom of the tub. Now, if that had happened, my father-in-law would have woke up because he has like Vulcan hearing. And she said she went in there, nothing had moved. Nothing was laying over. Everything was standing up like it was supposed to. And it's to a point where it kind of bothers her.
Yeah.
And so she wanted to talk to me about it. And my nephew, he's got some allergies going on. So she requested that I don't burn any sage until tomorrow. But in past experiences in the house, I have seen shadows in the hallway, especially in the doorway of my father-in-law's room, which I pointed out in the picture. Just really tall, skinny shadow. Just think like, and I know it'll add to the creepiness, but
Slender Man.
Slender Man.
I knew you were gonna go
That's
there.
exactly what I was thinking.
We
Yeah.
all thought
Yeah.
of Slender Man.
So just think Slender Man.
Mhm.
And I'm one of those people that's kind of like always on the offense, so I don't get scared easily. But if it's enough to creep me out, like thoroughly creep me out, then I know there's something going on. So a few weeks ago, probably like 3 weeks ago, my husband came out of the hallway bathroom, which is the door on the right, to go towards our bedroom. And he swears he thought I was standing in the hallway waiting to scare him in the dark. But I was in bed. So when he came in the bedroom, he kind of jumped like,
That's when you really got him.
weren't you just in the hallway? No, I've been laying in bed.
Oh.
He's like, there was somebody in the hallway. And it needs to be said, my husband is like one of the biggest skeptics. He really he has a hard time grasping anything psychic or gifted. So he's telling me that. And I know in the past few years, I've had something grab my leg in my sleep. Like where my shin is will just grab it like it's trying to pull me down towards the end of the bed.
When do you wake up? Are you asleep and you wake up to that, or?
Oh, it wakes me instantly because
I mean, I didn't know if it happened when you were awake too, and then, or it just happens when you're asleep.
It happens when I'm kind of like lucid dreaming, maybe.
Ooh,
like
like
just getting there.
Yeah.
But that's when a lot of people talk about sleep paralysis and seeing things is when you're lucid dreaming too. So,
with lucid dreaming though, a lot of things are like going on. So are you like theoretically halfway out your body, like astral projection type of thing, and then you're halfway in the spirit realm anyway?
Right.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
Well, and so my sister-in-law's bedroom always gives me the creeps, not just because it's always dark in there, but I have videoed myself going down the hall and turn towards her room and turn back, and I've seen things on camera that I wouldn't have seen with my own eyes.
Yes.
And
Yes.
So she says that she has also felt something grab her foot in the past, and also sit on her bed near her foot.
Hmm.
Not in the same instance.
Foot fetish.
So the foot fetish. Now that's
That's
scary.
scary. Yeah.
No thanks.
Hmm.
But so I can tell you that it honestly doesn't feel like my mother-in-law is around. She usually comes around like near her birthday and stuff when the family's like really thinking about her. But I've been working a lot lately, and my father-in-law just went back to work. And his energy in the house is very like man of the house, dominating, and it just kind of fills the whole house. So when he's not here and there's no one else here, the house has like this really strange emptiness that you can almost taste. Like the air is just really thick.
Hmm.
And it's in times like that in years past where, I've made myself known verbally, like, I live here. This is my house. I would,
Girl.
I would,
Yep.
I would appreciate it if you would respect my space.
Hmm.
My living room is my space. Please do not cross this threshold. Don't make me sage my room more than I already do. You want to wander around the house? That's great. Just please don't mess with anybody. And that usually works. But this time, just to me, in feeling their vibes when they're telling me the story, feeling their energy, I think they're genuinely concerned and scared. And my nephew came in here earlier, and I caught him on audio. He said, "Aunt Bunny, Uncle Chaz said if you had heard a loud bang, you would have ran in the living room and slept in there with him. And don't lie to me, because I know you won't lie to me." He's in first grade. He's adorable. So I was like, well, yeah, of course, because I don't like to sleep by myself, which is true. And it's bothering my nephew. It's bothering my father-in-law, who says he's been hearing cups rattling in the sink or like this strainer. My father-in-law has felt presences before, and I've done readings for him before. My mother-in-law always comes through whenever I do his readings. I know that Lisa had asked me in the chat earlier, is my sister-in-law maybe repressing a lot? She does repress a lot. She doesn't show it, but she's so, she keeps to herself so much that honestly, I can't feel it unless she visually gets upset. She's really good at just kind of keeping that stuff to herself. Mm-hmm. So my first thought is always going to go to, okay, is there more stress in the house? Has there been fighting in the house? Is there like money stress going on? None of that. Nothing's changed other than my father-in-law going back to work and the house being empty of his dominant energy. So I'm not sure where else to go with it other than saging the house, doing my, verbal assurance that you're not going to mess with us, So what do you guys think?
I don't know. I would ask some guides to help y'all too. I would think, ask spirit guides to assist you if it's anything malignant or if anybody has an issue. Like if she did have something going on with her energy that's disturbing her or anyone in the house, is a good thing to like let them know. They can talk about it, of course, but that doesn't mean they will, especially if it is an issue like that and she's so repressed. But I would wait it out and just see what else happens and try to put pieces together, like the foot fetish. Oh, Gandalf, do not turn my computer off. Oh, you want it to all you face. I would watch for a while and look at things that are consistent, like the feet in particular. And I mean, there could be something to the foot fetish, like there could be a reason that the feet are so interesting. Maybe this person was missing a foot if it's a spirit, or maybe somebody feels like they don't have a leg to stand on or something like that who has psychic energy. Because I think Holly has very strong psychic energy. Like it's because of how hard she can repress it, how she can just collapse her energy inside and almost be invisible, Yeah.
I have a few things that I do want to test out before I sage. I was thinking about taking my phone in her bedroom and just recording the dead airspace.
Oh yeah.
That's
And
what I was
seeing-
thinking. Yeah, at night.
And seeing what I can pick up. Like, she sleeps with a fan though, so you really would only get fans. So if I do it, it'd have to be during the day. She keeps blackout curtains, so it's pretty dark in there anyway. But maybe like when I get up in the morning before I go to work, I'll set my phone in there for 30 minutes and see what I can pick up. Outside of saging, I told her, I have some protection oils if that will make you feel comfortable. She has her Himalayan salt lamp in there, which is really bright, as you can tell from that picture.
Yeah, it's a bright one.
Outside of that, like, I've gone like ghost hunting, spirit hunting before, and I have some really good pictures of interesting experiences. But in my own house, past the normal stuff that I would do, I'm not really sure what else to think. But to me, it seems really noisy,
Yeah.
And I'm not trying to say like, oh, it's a poltergeist, but it happens early in the morning or like just sometime midnight or after before the sun comes
Before
up.
the sun comes up.
And that's the only thing I can think of because I just don't think it's her energy.
Do you think somebody could be messing with somebody a spirit could be messing with somebody in the house, and that could be creating, like, not the spirit itself doing something, but maybe they're messing with somebody on purpose?
Well, I think because of her strong psychic energy, it's possible she just attracts things.
Yes.
And she works in retail, so you don't know what she's going to pick up.
That sounds like a joke.
It is.
You don't know what energy she's bringing home.
I mean, it's a joke and a pun all in one.
Yeah.
But
this is terrifying, guys.
It's terrifying for my nephew.
I bet it is.
That's what I was worried about was him. Yeah.
Does Chaz has your husband seen anything?
Yeah.
At all?
He saw that shadow in the hallway.
Yeah.
The night he came out of the bathroom. And like I said, he's one of those people that even if he experienced it, I feel like he still wouldn't believe it.
Yeah.
He'd
rationalize it away. Yeah.
Absolutely. As husbands often do.
Yes.
But what do you guys think in seeing the pictures now and
What do you think, Misty?
I think that I would definitely be, concerned about the younger one. But I also think that, you have the power, definitely to stand your ground. And doing that, I think that would probably be the most powerful thing you could do when you are ready for it all to end. You said you wanted to do a little bit more investigating with it, but I think that you've got the power to do that. And sometimes like I'll get those feelings, like something is not so good next to me, and I'll like picture like a white bubble around me and like a protection, and that helps me. And I know Lisa, we've talked about that before too. So I mean, that would help, especially like maybe tell the is it a little boy, you said, your nephew? Yeah. Maybe tell him that that's what he can do when he's scared is, imagine like a bubble around him of protection, maybe that'll help him feel
and that would start him young. If he's her son, he might, that's not the only reason, but he might learn those, keeping his energy closed off. And then he would have this happen to him. So it's a good, like, for him to learn that too, maybe.
Yeah.
I mean, otherwise I would just wait and keep seeing what's happening and looking for patterns. So you've got the time, you've got the leg or foot, shin area, like something going on around that area, and interest. Do you feel like it's the left and right? Is the left for both of you? Because I'm picturing it being the left. I think because it
was the right for me, but I believe it was her left.
Okay. So I don't know if that wouldn't be then, but look for all kinds of similarities. Like, I remember you had said she thought something she heard was a shampoo bottle in the bathroom, and she looked and everything was fine, right? But
Yeah.
like what
Yeah.
it sounds like to you can even be a cue as to what they're, if it's a spirit, what's trying to get through. Like wash your hair.
Yeah. It just seems
No,
like well, here's your sign. No, really. But if it's loud enough to be like a like a loud
Oh, I'm not saying it was a
bang.
shampoo. I'm just saying whatever comes to your mind is a clue as to what it
Well,
might
I'm saying what woke her
mean,
up.
yeah. Oh, okay.
What woke her up? Why wouldn't my father-in-law have heard it? He keeps his bedroom door open.
Yeah.
And
he's a light sleeper. So.
I would have heard it. But yes.
Yeah.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
And like I said, she's attracted stuff in the past.
Oh, I just had an idea. If you can get like some kind of, I bet your husband could figure out some way to do this. Have something set up on your phone to record sound only when it hears sounds. Like those like kind of security things that picks up sounds and stuff.
Yeah.
So if it would like see if it picks up on that and she hears it.
You know what? They have those sleep apps that record you when you're sleeping when you stop making noise.
That's right. Yeah.
Hey, there's also an app that you can get that's pretty good that you can it actually picks up spirit waves and voices.
Mm-hmm.
I can't remember the name of it. I'll try to.
I think you did tell me about that. I'll put it in the description if you can find it. Yeah.
And you can actually it tells you where like high energies are. It's kind of like the spirit boxes they use in like all the shows and stuff. But
so
it's an
like
app.
an EMF type thing.
Yeah, but it actually will speak to you too. Like it'll say, it'll have like green and red for higher energies, and sometimes you can get them to actually talk to you through it. So you could try. Yeah, you could try that. I've done it before, but it kind of freaks me out, so I stopped.
Oh, I hear a scary story coming. Is it your turn, Misty?
Well, it wasn't anything big, but
Well, I want to hear.
You could try that.
Definitely send me, if you can remember what it's called, send me a message.
It goes something, but I will find it. And send it to you. And it's just an app that you download. And I actually I got the idea from a ghost tour that I went on in I think it was Nashville. I went on a ghost tour, and the woman that was doing it was telling us about it. And how it was pretty accurate. So I downloaded it and messed with it for a little while, but I wasn't trying to attract anything negative. So I kind of just, left it alone.
That sounds like the modern day Ouija board, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Like the phone
just
app
a little
talks
bit
back to you when they, it does. Yeah.
What do you think, Megan?
Oh yeah, I mean that's why like horror movies like nowadays are based off of like our intimacy with electronics and our everyday use, because they're like right by our side. So it is like something that's like right with us. Like but as far as the haunting in your house, I think poltergeist is definitely an interesting idea. Only because some people are portals, especially if they are, repressing that psychic energy. Energy, it never dies and it's never created, it's just transferred, right? So if she's deflecting it, where's it going? I would just make a detailed timeline.
I like that too. Yeah, time. Misty was feeling time, and I was feeling like catching like things that are similar, and writing it down. Yeah,
you guys know how I am about time. So
what is time? Time is money.
Like, that
money
too.
Power is pizza.
But that's my story, and maybe I can give you guys an update.
Yeah, we need an update
for sure.
Yeah, we definitely need an update. Yeah,
we will for sure. We'll rejoin on this.
Yeah,
but I'm interested in Misty's story.
I am too. I see that little dot on a Misty. She's got a dot.
I don't know which story to tell. I mean, I've got so many stories. I don't know where to go. But I guess I'm going to tell the scariest one because it's Halloween.
Oh yeah, let's get the scariest you can get.
Heck yeah.
I was living in an apartment, a little townhouse.
Your dog is getting you.
Oh my God.
My cat was doing that a little bit earlier. I was trying to listen. And I was like getting
I've
him
got
away
this
from
little wiener dog that attacks my face randomly. Okay.
Yellow love.
I know, and that's scary.
I think the dog's scared. I think she's scared.
Yeah, she is. She's like, don't talk about it. Anyway, I was living in this townhouse, and I had my 2 daughters that were living there, and my boyfriend at the time. And stuff started happening. Like, I could, to the T, every night at exactly, I think it was 3:15 in the morning, there would be this clock that would go off by itself. And it the batteries and stuff, you could take it out. You could unplug it. It didn't matter. That's when it
Was it
started with the clock.
like an alarm clock that makes that
Well, it was kind of
sound?
it was kind of like one of those old clocks, if I'm remembering right, because it's been a few years. But it would just go off by itself, and I had a friend of mine stay over there, and I would be like, look, because we'd stay up, all night when we were younger. And I would be like, watch, at 3:15, this stuff is going to go off. And she would sit by me, and she's like, okay. But she knew all the crazy crap that always happened to me, so she believed it. And then when it happened, she was like, wow. And then, I'm sorry, my dog.
Puppy love says, don't talk about it. You're scaring me so much. Ooh, mama.
Anyway, I'm just going to continue the story. I don't have lost it. But anyway.
Do you want me to pause it for a minute? Or
no, I'm just going to run my mouth.
Okay. I love it. I love it when you run your mouth.
No, no, here we go. Okay. So anyway, it started happening at like 3:15 every night. And, there were a few other strange things happening, but it wasn't like too weird. It was just stuff that was going, happening. And so it started getting worse, and other things started happening. And like
what was going on?
Go outside. Huh?
Like what kind of stuff was going on?
You would go outside and like look in the second story, because it was a townhouse. Wow. And like it doesn't matter if it was like cold, hot, or whatever, there would be like this like skull-like figure in the window.
Oh, that's so creepy. That stuff creeps me out, man. Yeah. That stuff gets me. Yeah.
Well, and I was like, you know what? It's probably just, a coincidence. So, I was trying to
reflection,
make things in my
something.
Head. Yeah. I knew that the stuff was going off. And I also knew that, like, if things started going off after 3, that's considered, the hour in which,
the witching hour,
Christ died on the cross or something,
or Satan and Christ in 3 o'clock. Right. I know what you're talking about. I've heard of that thing before.
It's supposed to be like a high awakening hour.
Yeah,
like it's supposed to be. I think it's supposed to be when the veil between our side and the other is the thinnest.
Yes. So, anyway, all this stuff's happening, and I have a lot of the dreams too. And so one night I was upstairs, and my kids were in the bedroom across the hall, and my boyfriend was downstairs, and there was a few people over, and I was passed out, and I had like this dream, this like demon was trying to get me, and I was like being chased with this demon. And when I woke up, I couldn't move. Like it had me to where it was like holding me down, like almost choking me, and I was like paralyzed. And it like freaked me out. So I went downstairs, because obviously I was awake by then. I go downstairs and I sit on the couch and I'm looking at my boyfriend and I'm like, dude, something is not right. I mean, all this is happening and now it's coming in my dreams, something's just not right. And so I got him to get the camera and I was sitting on the couch and he took a picture. Like remember what you said about feeling things and then taking pictures?
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
I got him to do that. And it was like one of the Polaroids that comes out, and you look at the picture and I looked at it and I couldn't believe what I was seeing. There was an actual head of a skeleton looking thing in the picture. And I mean, there was nothing.
Do you still have it?
I wish I did.
Oh,
I wish I did. He
burn
had it on his camera.
Yeah, that's terrifying.
I wish I still had it because it was you would look at the picture and you'd be like, damn,
Yeah, that's like, I can't imagine. That's just nuts.
So at this point, I'm really freaked out. So I go upstairs and in the dream, this demon is chasing me, but it's also trying to get my kids. So I immediately go upstairs and because my daughter's screaming, my oldest daughter. And at this time, she was probably, they were both very young. They were like 19 months apart. I think they were probably like maybe 5 and 7 at this point. Anyway, she's screaming in the other room. And so I immediately run upstairs and I grab both of them and I put them in my bedroom. And I put my oldest daughter that was screaming on my bed and she like had her eyes like halfway opened, halfway closed. Like you could only see the whites of them. And she would be like staring at me. And it freaked my shit, because this is my kid. And I kept looking at her and I was talking to my boyfriend and trying to figure out what we were going to do. And she's like following every move I make with those wide eyes, And anyway, it got really bad after that night. And I remember the next day I was like, something's got to give. And we ended up saging everything. And we ended up getting like some holy water and we went through the whole house. And I think that we got rid of it because, I mean, after that, we never had any problems.
What do you think was?
Before all that started, you guys were talking about Ouija boards. I was actually playing with a Ouija board right when I first moved into the townhouse, and I was playing by myself.
Oh.
And I think that that's probably the door opening for that one.
Maybe it was. Yeah, he invited it right in.
Yeah.
This is why I say you should be really experienced and do it not alone.
I was young.
We kind of like sex.
Well, that too. No, I just like, I don't know. I think I've always had that sixth sense and just knowing things that I shouldn't touch. You know?
Yeah.
And Ouija boards has always been one of them.
Yeah. Oh man, I had my hands all over the Ouija board as a kid, and it would never do a dang thing for me. Everybody I know has stuff that happens with them with the Ouija board. I'll be sitting there. And I do it alone. I do it with friends. I did all of it. Nothing ever happened with one, ever. Only one time something happened, but it was just somebody in the room freaking out. Oh yeah. One is so bad.
I know. Trust me, you're not missing anything.
No, I guess not.
No. I've never had a good experience with one. So
yeah. So Megan, I'm sorry, Bunny.
Oh, I was gonna say it sounds terrifying.
It
honestly.
does.
It was.
Like, what do you think it was? I mean,
I think it was just a negative entity that I had brought in. Like when I was doing the Ouija board, and I think it was trying to scare me. Or then again, I've had these dreams about demons chasing me all my life. And it could have been like one of those demons,
a manifestation of it. Yeah.
Right. I mean, I don't know. All I know is we got rid of it, and that was the end of it. And
that was the important
happy.
part.
Yeah. I was happy because, I watch a lot of shows, and a lot of times it's not that easy to get rid of stuff. So whatever we did, it worked.
Did you
So-
I
do
can just-
anything like asking it to go when you were saging and stuff? Did you put any intention like out there to like release it or anything? I'm just curious if you did because I never had
I'm
that.
trying to think. I think most of the energy that we put out was like positive, and I had like this real religious. My ex mother-in-law was very, very religious, and I had her come in and do it. I was like, "Here, have at it." So she got the Bible out, and she went on and on and on, and I just let her do her thing, and whatever she did worked.
That's great. Yeah. So
Yeah.
she did kind of like push it out or let it go,
Yeah,
kind of
I
one or the
mean,
other.
yeah, because I mean, I didn't know. Like I said, we did some other things too, and she was with us, but she was
Yeah.
the only person I knew at that time. You know, there was no internet back then,
Yeah. Yeah.
so
You try to
she was the
figure
only
something
person.
out. Yeah.
Right, I was like,
Smart, though.
well,
That's great.
you
Yeah.
know, but that's one of them. One of them. But guess what? It's somebody else's turn now.
That's right, Megan.
Oh.
wait, hold on. Lisa and Megan know how I am because I'm one of those always on the offense people. But I can just imagine, like, you know that you guys ever seen The Emperor's New Groove?
Yes, I
The
love that
cartoon.
movie.
Okay, you know the part where he like kicks the door open and he's like, boom, baby. Okay, I can totally imagine myself just busting your front door open, like, what's up, bitches? I'm here. What's up? Come at me, bro.
Boom, baby.
Yeah, who you gonna call? She is ghost busting. There's some ghost busting going on over there, Bunny. There really is. All right, Megan, you got a story for us?
I mean, I don't have a super scary story or anything, but I remember the first time that it scared the shit out of me. Actually seeing something like for real,
Yeah.
real. Because usually when I see stuff, you know, it's in my mind's eye or it's in like more of like a meditation vision scape type of thing. But like walking down the street and seeing something, it was a face superimposed over a man's face walking down the street. And I remember being so instantly terrified and like my whole body just lost all of its heat and I was chilled to the
Ooh.
bone and just
Wow.
was like, my first thought was like, I hope it didn't see me. Like that was, I
Ooh.
would just remember being terrified. I've never seen it again. I've only truly seen it once. But since that moment, I've seen other entities in a physical form like that. Rare and in between, mostly animals, but I mean,
So it's like
that
an
was
animal face on a person, or you've seen it
no,
on?
it was like a rotten man's face on top of another man's face.
Oh, so you
Ooh.
kind of, what do you think you were seeing? What do you think you're seeing?
Possession.
Possession.
Oh, that's scary.
Holy.
I was gonna
Okay,
say,
that was a
like,
terrifying story.
Yeah.
I was gonna say,
That
like,
scared
maybe
my
a
ass,
reaper.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I was a child. It truly was. I was probably like 11.
Oh,
I
Mm-mm.
was
I can't
gonna say,
imagine.
like, maybe it was a reaper, but now that you say like possession, it makes a lot more sense.
Yeah. For those
I
of
just
you who
had the
haven't,
immediate like predatory feeling of like this thing would eat me.
that is
That's what
really,
it
really
does, though.
creepy. Yeah, it does, I guess.
I
Yeah.
said 11.
So
Well, in case
Megan, one thing the audience doesn't know about Megan, because if they've been listening, they've met Bunny, and of course they've met Misty and me. But Megan has a very uncanny, unique ability to scry, and we've talked about scrying before. But it's when you look at something and you see like a truth of some sort that's mysterious and hidden.
Cool.
And so it's hard to get into, it's hard to describe exactly what she does, but when she says she saw that, yeah.
But
That's
what did you see it on? Like, where did you see it?
like, where were you?
Yeah.
Walking down the street.
Just walking down the street on the
It was
sky's
just
face.
like passing, like in
So it was
passing.
like a stranger that.
Yes.
So was
Yeah, I
it
was with
like?
my
Do you
mom.
think
She
it
was
was a
holding my
person
hand.
that was getting possessed?
Oh, I don't know. It's just a terrifying memory.
Oh no, I
I
think
guess.
it might be some like that. That was her first, like, she thought it like as a possession already, is the impression I got. Like they were already
Yeah.
possessed.
Yeah.
know.
Yeah.
Well, see,
Well, and
That's
yeah,
scary.
but I'm also kind of like a skeptic. So one, I was terrified, and two, I thought I was crazy for a long time, and
Oh,
then three, with
I
having
think we
that
all
religion.
did.
Yeah, I know. That's like a phase of your enlightening,
Mhm.
Skepticism.
right?
So let me
Yeah,
ask y'all this: do y'all believe in possession?
I
Yes.
That's
do.
what I was about to get to with like a religious Catholic background. Of course, I'm gonna think along the lines of the devil and possession when it really, honestly, it could have been anything. But I know like what I felt, and it was like I was scared.
It was definitely evil. Yeah.
Oh, for sure, for sure. Whether like whatever name we want to put on it, it was
Yeah.
not something that I wanted.
Not good juju, bad juju.
Bad
Very bad
juju.
and terrifying. It
Yeah.
could also, the first thing I thought of when you described that was seeing like their true soul, like the true thing inside them that makes them act the way they do is kind of what it made. But it's the same. Possession to me is like something taking over. I think it can be an energy. I don't know about entities, but except I've read about mediums who channel, and I've never channeled personally like that, where they open up, they get out of their own body and they let the spirit enter their body. I've never done that.
Yeah.
And like Bunny shaking her head, no, I don't really want to do that either.
Oh, I don't either, but I've heard about it. Yeah.
You got to be
and
you got to be really, really strong-willed to be able to allow
Yeah.
that to happen,
Yeah.
and then
No
be able
way.
to kick them back out later.
No.
Because, like,
No
Ever.
thanks.
well, like she said,
No, thanks, no,
like
thanks,
it
no,
was
thanks.
going to eat her. She had that feeling
God,
like
yeah, it's
it could eat
terrifying.
her. But in the research I did into demonic possession, is it really does eat you from the inside.
I believe it because I mean, from what I've read and seen on like documentaries and stuff, the person gets very sick. So that would make sense that from the inside out. I mean, most
Mhm.
of them die.
Yeah.
If they're truly bad off because they get so sick and their insides actually decay.
Mhm.
That's just
So
terrifying,
that's kind
Megan.
of scary.
Yeah, Missy, like, y'all are scaring me. My gosh.
But you know
Um,
what though? You know what I wonder, is like Lisa, like when you read the book, I'm just gonna call it the book from now on. They talk about how like there is no like negative energy, like when we die,
right.
it's all positive. And I think in one part of the book it talks about like how like here on earth all the negative things and the negative energies that we put out as like a part of us or
It's
something.
a manifestation kind of.
Yeah, like a
unit like that.
manifestation. Yeah. So what do you believe then when it comes to that?
Me or Megan?
Yeah.
Oh,
You.
I think that I don't know. I have some experiences. Like I never really believed in demonic possession or anything demonic or angelic, but got a big lesson in that a couple years ago. So I think there's just a lot of different kinds of like spirits and types of energy fields that are kind of a spirit. And I feel like demons are probably one of them. And I feel like angels are one of them. And I feel like spirit guides are some. And as far as in reference to the book, I think the book has to do with the place we all like. It's like source, I guess you could say, the place that is in between lives. It is safe there. It is good there. But I don't think that's all there is. Because they talk about in that book the purple lights, the people with the purple and indigo lights. So you never see those souls. They're just gone. We don't know what they're doing. They assume in the book that they're like higher beings, in the life
Right.
lives. But I think personally, from my experience, from what my guides have explained to me and the best I understand, is there is a place like the divine place where everyone lives when they're not a living, and then you can go off and travel to see other things, other like you could like
Planets.
name yeah, other planets. You could name these, or that you could name them like a dimension, or you could say a place out of time or a
Species.
place in time. It's just a place that's not that like place where we all come from, the divine place of love. That's what I think where souls come from.
Right.
But I think you can leave that place if you want to and go do other things to develop who you are and become as unique as you possibly can be. That's kind of like what I think we're here to do, is become as unique as
In
possible.
completion, to what? Like, to what end? What's the goal?
To become
Would
as
be
unique
soul
as possible,
contract.
but from there, I don't know. Oh, I mean, for this lifetime? Yeah, the soul contract would be something like in that book where I chose to come here and challenge myself to XYZ, finish this task and learn this. So because I want to be Y, right? You're saying, why would I want to be this, and this? I don't know. That's kind of something that's mysterious to me too, but I think that I feel it. I feel like I want to go do those things. Like, I feel like, yes, I want to do this podcast really bad. Yes, I impulsively want to make crystal ball sterling silver ring with a real crystal ball that moves and you can scry in it. So I will make that happen. Stuff like
Ooh.
that. And
I can see it now. She's just gonna be like,
I don't know. I think there's when you get down in there, I think we got this creation side and this destruction side
Excuse me.
in nature. And I think those two are just like pulling and pushing and pulling and pushing. And that's in time though. But outside of time, I think it's a little different experience, but I don't know what's like outside of time. Can't remember.
Yeah.
Or I haven't taken enough peyote.
Yeah.
I've got a super creepy story, if you're willing to hear it.
I would love to hear it.
Yes.
Okay, so it before I tell you the story, it's about the morning my mom passed away.
Okay.
So it's I'll try not to make it like as graphic as it really felt for me, but my mom had lung cancer and she went down really, really fast. And I knew, like, I felt something was wrong. I was there with my mother-in-law when she passed, saw her, go through the stages of dying and everything. So I knew what to expect. And so the morning before, the hospice nurse came and she said, well, I see it probably lasting till the weekend. And at this point, it was like Tuesday, a couple years ago. And all day she slept. She didn't open her eyes once, which was not usual. So I kind of felt like we were getting there. And
yeah.
So she just slept, and then she started having what do they call that crackly sound?
In their lungs when they're breathing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Death rattle.
Yeah,
the
the
death
death rattle. Yeah.
So she started getting that, but it wasn't quite as loud as it was for my mother-in-law, although my mother-in-law didn't pass from lung cancer. So I just thought it was, things were just different than the way everybody said it might go. And so I stayed up. My Aunt Trudy came home and she slept in the same bed as my mom. And she said around, I don't know, 3:00 or 2:00 in the morning, she was like, well, just, go lay down in the living room. It's okay. I'll be here. I'm about to crawl in bed. She wore a CPAP mask, which, if you know about those, they're really loud.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, well, I can't sleep. So I took a shower. I put some clothes in the washer, moved them over to the dryer, all in the span of like 2 hours. So then at 4:45, Trudy wakes me up and she says, come here. I need your help. I need your help. And I was like, what is it? And she was like, it's your mom. And I've never leaped over a coffee table in my life. And it was a huge coffee table. And I just went whoosh over that coffee table.
I bet.
And I run in the room and she was laying there and her eyes were wide open. And she was staring at the ceiling and she was laying flat. And her fists had gripped the sheet. And her whole body was stiff. Now, her legs were stiff the day before. That's how we knew something was going on.
Right.
And she kept saying, well, maybe we should lift her up. So I lifted, it took a lot of force, but I was able to lift her up and sit her up, and we put some pillows behind her. And she started, the guppy breathing where it's that time. And, I'm on the phone with my husband, like, you need to get here now. I'm on the phone with the hospice guy. What do you mean it's going to be 3 hours? Like my mom's
right. It's
in
awful,
those situations. I'm just like a really aggressive person. And
yes.
she, she guppy breathed for maybe 2 minutes, and it was over. She passed.
Hmm.
I don't know if that was peaceful for her. I don't know. I know she suffered a lot of her life for a lot of different reasons. So she passed, and it was going to be like 3 hours until the hospice guy could get there because he was out in like Etowah County, which was BFE, you know.
Right.
So I stayed in the room with her, and I held her hand, and I talked to her, and I knew she was gone, but it's a comforting thing. And me and Trudy started hearing this music. This is where it gets creepy, okay? We started hearing this music, and we couldn't tell where it was coming from. So it played a little bit, and then it stopped. And then, like 15, 20 minutes later, it would play a little bit, and then it would stop. And we couldn't figure out what it was. And I was like, hey, she had like this big bookshelf. And up on the bookshelf, she had like this plant that mom had put there. And it was the plant in its pot was flopped over on its side. Just, it was fine the day before.
Yeah.
So then the music keeps playing, And I'm like, is that in your purse? And Trudy's like, I think it is. So we get her purse, and she's got all this junk because she's an older lady. She keeps a lot of junk in her purse. And at the very bottom of her purse was a broken cell phone that used to be my mom's.
Aww.
And it was playing House of the Rising Sun, which is one of her favorite songs.
Oh my God.
I still have
weird.
the phone.
It gets weird. It gets weird.
It gets really weird. So it wouldn't turn on. I hit the power button, like it was playing, and the screen was on, and it was lit up and everything. And not that it didn't say anybody was calling, it was just playing the ringtone of House of the Rising Sun. And I was like, what is it doing? And then power shut off, nothing. I couldn't get it to turn back on. So I plugged it in, charged it. It's a really old Android. So even if I charge it, it might stay on like 30 minutes.
Right.
So I charged it, and I went into the settings, and it was on vibrate, where it shouldn't have been making any sound. And I think I still have pictures I took of the phone and when I turned it on and stuff. And it was so strange because when she passed, within 15 minutes of her passing, my dad called me, my best friend called me, my other best friend called me. I think I got a message from Lisa, and they all were like, we just felt like we needed to check on you. Like I just woke up out of a dead sleep. And within maybe 2 minutes of her passing, my brother woke up and came into the hallway, just as we're still standing there in shock that like she just passed, And I hear my brother in the hallway, and I'm like, oh my God, like now I have to tell my brother. But
is he younger or older or what?
He's younger. He's 8 years my junior. He was 21 at the time.
Okay.
And just a whole bunch of people woke up at the same time. And my grandpa told me later that he woke up about 5 o'clock, which is about the time she passed. Some funnier part of the story, and that is the true creepy part, is the phone playing music. But a funnier part of the story, it's funny to me now, and I did apologize to the hospice guy. But when he got there, he checks her pulse and everything, and he's like, well, do you want me to record the time of death as when you saw her pass or when I checked her pulse? And I was like, when I saw her pass,
Right.
Because I was her proxy, and I was over all her stuff and all that. So
right.
He, before she passed, she had contacted this funeral home that apparently takes payments before you pass. So you can just go ahead and pay for your cremation or whatever. But she ended up not getting around to paying them. She just had all the paperwork, and I had filled it out, but there were some parts that I didn't understand. And the previous hospice nurse was like, well, just wait until she passes, and they'll help you fill out the rest. I said, okay. So I show him this paperwork after he's already called them to say, hey, got to pick up, need to do a cremation, yada, yada, yada. So I pulled this paperwork out and I was like, we may need to call them back because I don't know how to fill this paperwork out. And so he lost the number that he had called mysteriously. He had it on a piece of paper, like a big notebook sized piece of paper. He lost that piece of paper in the span of like 2 seconds. And he ended up having to Google the funeral home. So he calls them and they're like, I don't know what you're talking about. We don't take prepayments on cremations. You didn't call us a few minutes ago. Apparently, there's a company that scams people out of money, and they use the same name as local funeral homes. Yes, absolutely.
No.
So,
What a crappy thing to do to somebody.
well, how did that piece of paper go missing in the span of like 2 seconds? He hangs up. I say, hey, we need to call him
Thanks,
back.
Mom.
And so he's like, well, hold on. You know, I can't go any further. I can't do anything. I can't allow a funeral home in here or anything till I call my supervisor. And he's probably sleeping. And I was like,
Great.
he's been gone for like 3.5 hours.
Great.
What do you mean you're not going to call the funeral home? She's right here, you know? So I'm
Yeah.
already getting irritated. Glad that piece of paper went missing and that Mom didn't waste her money.
Yes, of course.
Although it ended up costing like twice as much as what, you know, the fake company had offered to get her cremated. So he was talking to me and he asked me, you know, do I feel like it was peaceful for her? And they're kind of a religious hospice place because my mom she grew up Pentecostal, so she's really, really religious.
Mhm.
And I was like, honestly, I don't know. So I kind of told him what happened. And I was like, you guys need to prepare people better for this. Because, I mean, I still have PTSD in the thing. Because I gave you like the really, really watered down version.
Yeah.
But I was like, you know, you guys really need to like make people aware that it can get ugly, like really ugly.
Yeah.
And he was like, well, you know, we're trained to teach families on what to expect. And apparently that was my breaking point because I jumped out of the chair and stuck my finger to his nose and I was like, you need some better training, you asshole. and I just like, Lisa and Megan know how I am. When I do get triggered, I get really angry and I screamed at him and my husband came in. He was like, come on, let's leave the room. I was like, no, he can leave. I'm staying right here.
Did he? Did he leave?
He did. I'm just going to give you a few minutes. And he came back and I was like, look, I'm sorry. What I witnessed was really graphic. It's not the most graphic thing I've seen in my life, but
it's hard.
It was very jarring.
Yeah.
And I said, you guys are lucky that my brother was not in the room because he would have gone crazy. I know how he is. And he was like, well, you know, we're just trained. I was like, nope, you can leave. I'm not having this conversation again.
Yeah.
That poor hospice dude, like he was so humble. And I got to hand it to him. He has probably dealt with far worse people than me. But the whole situation to the plant flopping over, the phone playing her song, and then that piece of paper going missing.
Mm-hmm.
And all the people waking up. Yeah.
And all those people waking up. And she had just passed away. Like that had to be like some enormous transfer of energy.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
When you think about it.
Yeah.
I can't describe to you how it felt because I was mostly just in shock when it happened. But
I know how it feels. I've been there, done that. Yeah.
I mean,
I know exactly how it feels. Yeah.
The creepiness of everything was just.
Yeah. And it is hard when you're not expecting to see something like that. Especially
how can you ever be prepared? Yeah, I mean, I can't. I've never seen anything like that. I just couldn't be.
Oh, it's awful. I've seen it 3 or 4 times in my life already, and it's nothing that I would want anybody to watch.
Right.
But
I mean, I've seen animals die, but I haven't seen a person die before.
It's awful. Like she said, it is horrible.
Yeah.
Just in talking about someone passing in a room, though, how do you guys feel about a mirror being in the room when someone is dying.
I know that my family, the Irish, a lot of the Irish people and Catholics, they would always cover mirrors up. But I never really thought. I don't think much about mirrors. I know a lot of people very like I think they can. I don't know. They have a lot of power, like for some people, or they have like something about them. But the only thing I just like them high up on the wall, so they make a room look bigger. I don't know. It's like I don't ever have any feelings. I just think that's kind of neat how what they do is really cool. And I remember the line from the They Might Be Giants song is like, "You'll never see yourself in the mirror with your eyes closed." So I mean, I just never really took of. I just think mirrors are just like kind of cool, and I like them sewn into pillows at Elvis's. I don't know. I just never had a like mirrors. I don't know. What do you guys think?
They give
I
me the
don't-
creeps.
I'm with you, Lisa. I haven't
It's
really
creepier to see
studied
him covered up, man. It's creepier to see those mirrors covered up because somebody just died.
Yeah.
It's like to me, like that's creepy, to be somewhere and someone just died. But when someone's like you, for me, if I know someone is passing or I'm close to someone who knows someone who's passing and I'm aware of it, like they're in the hospital or something like that, then I have a lot of strange experiences. Let's put it that way. But when a sudden death happens, I usually have no idea it's coming. So
Yeah.
I don't know if I had to. I'm trying to think if I have I don't have a specifics. I had a specific scary story picked out, but then I thought of like a couple others. But I don't know. I guess my ghost in Auburn was pretty. It's not really a fabulous blow up ending, but it was pretty scary. I had a ghost in my apartment, and I didn't know that. It was the only apartment that was still available at the last minute when I needed an
Of
apartment.
course.
Yeah. I was moving in and they're like, "It's the only one." And I was like, "You don't have any?" And they're like, "No." And I was
And
like,
there's your sign.
and really, I got in there and it's a college town. It's Auburn, Alabama, Auburn University. And it was a pretty nice place, it was like getting a kind of an upgrade apartment. And there was this big stain on the kitchen floor. And this is before I really explored the side of myself, other than doing a little palmistry here and there. But I was like, I just had this thought, like immediate thought was somebody killed themselves right there. But I mean, I thought like that anyway. I was studying creative writing, so I just thought that's what I should do with thinking like that. And then it just like kind of said, I was like, no, whatever. And so I'd been there probably the first couple nights, nothing happened. And then it's like the way this apartment was set up is he had the front door, and then right in front of the front door, it kind of angles. And you'd be looking at the laundry room door and the bedroom, and then you go straight into the living room. So it's kind of weird little with a bunch of doors in one place, 3 doors. And this laundry room had just one of those up and down, like washer and dryer on top of each other, stackable thing. And it just started opening. It would just be open, and I had no idea why. It was just open, like after the first day or two. So I just thought there was just some kind of glitch with it, but it would really close. I couldn't figure out how it was opening. And at that time, I had a boyfriend named Jamie, and he would stay with me a lot. And he would notice the door, and my bedroom door would do the same thing. Sometimes it would be, if I had it closed and at night when I went to bed, it'd be open in the morning or something like that. And I hadn't opened it. And when he was there, he'd be like, "I didn't open it." I was like, "You sleepwalking?" And so those, and then sometimes the front door, I'd come home and the front door would be open and it had been locked. And I'd just be like, "What's going on? Is this apartment complex? What's going on here? Are they doing, blah, blah, blah." And so finally, another really scary time. This one was actually scary before I figured out, I think, what I figured out what it was. But I was laying in bed and I went to sleep, and where the way that room was set up was like when I was laying down, the door would be at my feet, but a little, like kind of at my feet, facing like that way. And then in my closet was to my right, and in my closet on the ceiling was the attic. So I could see that because I had my closet door open. Yeah, Bunny shaking her head, she's knowing. And guess what door was open when I woke up? Attic door. And I was really scared. So it was my bedroom door. So I got convinced somebody was coming through the apartment I thought a neighboring apartment person was doing that, but I couldn't figure out who. I didn't really know anybody, but none of them looked suspicious or seemed like they would do that, so I didn't know. But there's like 5 buildings in this like row of townhouse type apartments. They aren't townhouses, you know what I mean. So
I just have to say
then
they didn't look suspicious.
that's what I'm saying, but it wasn't them. So I got in the shower one day. It's probably about 4 months in. I think it was around November or December. And I thought I heard when I was getting out of the shower and drying off, I thought I heard my boyfriend at the time, Jamie, jiggling the doorknob, like trying to get the key in. Because sometimes there was troubles with the door. There were troubles, and so I was like, I'm coming. I wrapped the towel around me, and it was freezing. It was winter. It was December, and for some reason it was freezing in Alabama. But I opened the door. I mean, I didn't open the door. I ran to the door, and I looked down, and I saw the door unlock, and then I saw the doorknob turn, and then the door opened about 2 inches and just stopped. Real slow.
Nope.
No, and I didn't move. I didn't just stand there. I was like,
Nope.
yanked it open, and nobody was there, guys. I went running out there, and I looked around. Nobody was anywhere. And I was just like, and I just like wrapped myself up in my towel and closed the door and just sat there because I knew that boyfriend, Jamie, he'd be there any minute, and he saved me. I just sat there shivering, and my hair had like ice on it by the time he got there because he was running a little late. And I told him that. He's like, no. So then he had the exact same thing happen to him about a week later when he was taking a shower. He heard the doorknob jiggle. He went out there and the door opened. And he said he went through the whole apartment with the lid to the toilet trying to find someone because he was sure, you know. And so anyway, I was just like, it's a ghost. So I started like leaving doors open for it. I didn't know what to do. And then it would still just keep open. The front door was really a problem. It didn't do anything but open doors. And it was scary when it happened, when you look at it and it happened, because that's the only time I ever looked at it when it was happening. And, it was, and you know, when you're in a towel, you feel vulnerable anyway. You know,
and you're alone. Yeah,
alone,
no doubt.
And so that's exactly a good point, Misty, because I got a cat and that stopped everything. I got a cat, and that's not the reason I wanted a cat, but I was that stopped it. Never, no other door never opened
No
again.
way.
The ghost like the cat. Yeah.
Cats are very supernatural.
Yeah, they
already.
are. Yeah, he's a kitten too. He's a little baby fluffy Azrael. Yeah, that was a crazy one, but it was pretty scary. I mean, that's what made this one. It felt like to me before. I didn't think about it as a psychic way, but when I thought about it, I was like, well, if it is a ghost, and I believe it is, I think this cat made that ghost happy, and that ghost didn't want the cat to get outside or get trapped inside the laundry room. Or get trapped in the bedroom. That's what it felt like to me, but I'm a very positive person.
That's probably what it was.
That's what it felt like, because it felt like a young person energy, like, I don't know, like someone who would just trapped in there and just, then they were like, oh, a kitty, So that's kind of what it felt like. I don't know. So
that's probably what it was, if that's what you felt. Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say that. In the spirit of Halloween, I got a really good scary story that is not paranormal, but it's still scary.
Okay.
I'm a pretty brave person, except when it comes to bugs. All right.
Okay.
You just have no idea where this is going. When I lived in Birmingham, I lived in this house where when you come in the door, you can go down the hall, turn to the right, there's the kitchen, turn to the right, there's the dining room, turn to the right, there's the front door. So it's like a big oval. And I saw a spider in the kitchen, and it was a pretty big spider. If you put 2 eyeballs together, it was about that big. And so I was like, oh, I'm brave. I can do it. In my mind, I'm thinking, well, all I have is like some hairspray and a spatula.
Hey, those are good tools.
That's all. Yeah, you need a lighter and you're all good.
Yeah.
Well, it wasn't even just hairspray. It was freezing spray. So
freeze that spider.
So I go after this spider and I chase it around. Like I chase it from the kitchen to the dining room, to the front door, down the hallway, back to the kitchen. And as it's going towards the dining room, and this thing is pretty fast. Like
I see that, yeah.
I was struggling to keep up with it. This thing about faced on me it did a 180 and came at me.
No, it
It
didn't.
was a total come at me, bro moment because
I'm gonna get your ass.
I screamed, threw the freezing spray, spatula went in the air, and I jumped on the counter, and that thing stayed at the bottom of the counter on the floor. And I sat Indian style and I kept looking down at it like, you, you know? And I stayed on that kitchen counter until somebody came home. It was like a good 25 minutes. I was not coming off that counter.
Okay, and was the spider still there when the person came?
Yes. And they stomped on it.
Oh,
Of course
The good
they
old
did.
trapped
You're
by
like,
a spider
"Oh."
stories.
How did you feel when he stomped on it? Like grateful or relieved
Satisfied.
or satisfied? Okay, there you go. You
Yeah.
won. You won by proxy.
Mhm.
The only thing that would have made that story even creepier is if he stomped on it and baby spiders came out.
Yeah, I've
But
had that happen.
luckily-
Oh, that's creepy, man. That's a weird
Luckily,
thing.
that's not what happened. But like, that's like me telling a wasp, you know, that it's, I don't know how you feel about cussing on your.
we do it, but you know,
Okay.
it's not a
At
problem.
one time.
Well, that's like me looking at a wasp and calling it a punk ass bitch and it about facing and coming at me.
Yeah.
I don't have a good
I've had that
relationship with
happen.
bugs.
Yeah, I like bugs, but not wasps. I'm allergic to them, man. But
Mm-mm.
they come after me sometimes. Yeah, I've had lots of scary bug stories. I think I've talked about the roach up on my hand. I mean, bugs especially like slugs. I've always had a thing with slugs around, but I don't really mind them. I just don't want them in my tub when I'm taking a shower. But it's just like what they're kind of like weird. But like as I got older, I kind of like I was a kid. I always liked slugs. So now I kind of think of them as like maybe there's a fairy on it, you know, and I just can't do anything about that. So I'll take
Yeah.
them outside, but you don't want to touch them because I can hurt them. You have salt on your hands. So I always like kind of get them on a towel, like a paper towel, and put them outside. So like, but I guess the scariest, like, I'm trying to think of the scariest, just like creeper, like heebie-jeebies bug. Oh, it wasn't really scary, but I had a red-tailed boa go through my belt loop one time when I was sitting on someone's bed. It went
You are
all the way
kidding
through
me.
all my belt loops. Yeah.
No.
Yeah. It was it was long enough to go all the way around me, but it was like thin enough to fit inside the loops. And the guy I was
No.
with like had to like slowly, he knew his snake, so luckily he knew his snake. That sounds really bad, man. We don't cuss on the show. And he pulled it out really slowly. And I was like, oh. So I just stayed as calm as possible. You know,
Oh
I
my
wasn't scared
gosh.
of it anyway, but then I was just like a little bit, wait a minute.
No.
This is very
No,
tight.
thank you.
Yeah.
Mm-mm.
He pulled her out through my belt loops. And the thing is like she had eaten a mouse like the day before or something, the day before or the day before that. So she had a little lump in her, and we were kind of like, I was like, I don't know why we didn't think to just cut them, but I mean, I think it was an issue where she was kind of fat going through some of them. So we thought we couldn't get the scissors in without hurting her, you know, and it was like just
Yeah.
kind of like, let's fix this now situation. And he just,
Oh my gosh.
yeah.
Oh, I would have died. I would have died. And
Well,
that's so funny because I'm terrified of snakes, and my husband collects them.
yeah, he knows how to
It's
keep you
crazy.
in line. That's really scary.
Mhm.
Keeping
I
you in
know.
line must be a scary job. So that's a really
It
brave
is.
move.
It is.
So, Megan, you got any more scary stories for us?
No, not really. I've been scared by some ghost animals, but
Oh, yeah. Tell us about
I
that.
feel like, okay. So my ex-husband, one time we were living in his mother's basement for a little bit, and her basement was unfinished. And they've had a lot of animals throughout the years. But she's like, "Oh, there's something downstairs, just so you know. When you see something, we don't know what it is, but it's down there." And I'm like, okay, yeah. And I did start seeing like this shadow thing. And it led into research about how like there's a whole genre of ghosts called shadow men that are, yeah. mean, it was a long time ago, but it basically, I think it has to do with like frequency. Like there are high frequencies and low frequencies. So those entities exist on those type of levels, and that's how they're like manifest into like our reality.
Whoa, that's
So like
crazy.
they only have enough energy to manifest themselves, or they can only gather enough energy to manifest themselves as shadows. They know nothing
Okay.
Is
else.
that like the shadow people that people talk about? Is that the same
Yeah,
thing?
yeah, exactly.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I don't. So I'm really curious about that. Shadow people have been
I am too.
fascinating me since I've known a lot of people who've seen them and had experiences with them. What do y'all think they are? Okay, for listeners who don't know what shadow people are, Google it. No, I'm just kidding. Because nobody does. Nobody knows supposedly what they are. But some people have these beings or entities or energies or whatever they call them personally, a shadow people, and they look like a shadow. So Megan, what did you learn? What were you saying? They have like not enough energy to manifest, but they're like a lower energy kind of, or a higher energy, or
No, yeah, that's just personally what I think.
I want to know what you
I was
personally think.
I think the same thing. That's funny that she said that because I think it's a lower energy as well.
right. They don't have energy for anything else, and
Right,
I
right.
think that also kind of to me would reflect like their frame of mind and their ability. So they can only kind of half-ass manifest themselves in this world as a shadow because that's kind of how they view themselves.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah,
I
I
like
Plus,
agree.
I think it has to do with, like a lot of energetic, but who knows?
I know you sound like you know.
Oh,
I'm
no.
convinced.
And I'm agreeing.
I like it. Yeah.
Just a
Well,
feeling.
anybody else got a scary thought? Last parting words for Halloween. I mean, should people trick or should they treat? Like at least advice.
They
It
should
was a
treat.
weird Halloween.
It's been a hard year. I think everybody should treat themselves.
I think that's a good
Preach
idea. Yeah.
yo self.
Treat
I'm
yourself.
thinking some
Treat.
tricks would be fun.
Yes,
Well, that too.
we'll trick you. They just
That
pull
too.
makeup.
I think my advice is, or final thought is, if you're gonna trick, make sure you do your research.
There you go. No Ouija boards alone.
No Ouija
That's
boards alone.
right.
But do your research so you don't mess it up and end up summoning Satan himself or something like that. Yeah.
And Misty, trick or treat. What advice do you have other than don't play with Ouija boards by yourself?
I think that from all the stories, from everything that you guys have said tonight, everybody's saying, I think that's how I felt. That's how I felt. And so my last words would be like, hey, go with that gut. If you think that's what it is, that's probably what it is. So
Good point. Yeah.
if you think that it was just a kid in the college dorm that was opening doors, then that's probably what it was. Or, vice versa. I really think that you should go with your gut and you can probably figure it out what it is that's haunting you.
Right now, the urge for some sushi is haunting me. It's like,
Your cats are like sushi mama.
they do like it when the sushi happens. Yeah, I try to give them wet food first, but I'll give them a couple pieces and then I'll give them wet food and get to have my sushi.
Stay away.
Trick or treat, Megan. What do you want to give any last insights for any listeners for Halloween?
Ooh, I think that I agree with Misty that our greatest teachers are ourselves. And it can be yourself. You just have to like listen and trust that intuition. There's so many times where I was like giving a reading and I would have like this voice screaming in my head like she's adopted or he's cheating. And like I can't say those things. So I kind of like say around it and then the person like just comes out and says, yes, actually I was adopted. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I should have said that. So listen to that voice.
Yes.
Yeah I have a hard time doing that a lot, listening to that voice. It tells me a lot of misinformation too, I think. Let's see, trick or treat for me, I would like to see a trick. Yes, if you are going to perform tricks, research, but if you think you might get tricked, be psychic.
Because we're all
As far as a
psychic.
treat, man, yeah, have some celebrating times on this Halloween. You don't have to give out candy this year. Keep it. Still buy it. We need to support local businesses. Buy that
Treat
candy.
yourself.
Buy the
Treat
candy.
yourself.
Maybe some pumpkin
Right.
spice beer. I don't know. Whatever you go for. I hope everybody has a very, very dangerous Halloween and at least scary. Maybe everybody will go out and try something new. It's a full moon this Halloween. And not
it's a
only that, it's a blue
Saturday.
moon.
It's a blue
and
moon.
Yeah, it's 2 moons in 1 month. And I think there's some interesting astrology surrounding this moon that points to like really big, explosive new beginnings of most signs, a lot of progress. So I'm looking forward to that happening after like that, hopefully happening. I don't know. I've been following astrology a lot lately, and this is supposed to be a
It's
really big
fun.
moon.
Yes.
I was gonna make a joke. Rise of the Geminis.
You think they always think they're rising, or do they?
We're always
What'd you
rising.
say?
We're always
That's a
rising.
Leo.
One of them is.
Yeah, one of them is. Yeah. Thank you for listening, everybody, and Bunny and Misty and Megan. Thank you so much for coming to the show and doing a Halloween episode with me. I hope y'all enjoyed it, and have a great night.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye.